Uh, IT did start the recording, so yes, we are good to go.
Okay. I would like to call the meeting of the St. Louis County Board of Zoning Adjustment to order. The board members present today are Angelia Bills, Chair, Justin Randall, Vice Chair, and Vincent Nutt, Member. The Department of Planning staff members are Debbie Nesbitt, Abby Freudel, Abiola Adesana, Summer Jean, and Gretchen Arnold. Also on the call today is John Burford from the County Counselor's Office. First, I would like to offer into the record the affidavit of publication pertaining to today's meeting, January 10th, 2024. The board hereby takes official notice of and admits into evidence on the record the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance, Chapter 1003, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974 as amended, and Chapter 1004, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974 as amended. Next, I would like to call for a motion to approve the minutes of the previous BZA meeting of December 20th, 2023.
Make a motion to approve the previous board minutes.
Okay. Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay. This meeting is conducted as a teleconference and is recorded. The planning staff will read each request into the record and present technical advice to the board if needed. The petitioner will be unmuted, state their name, and make a brief presentation to the board explaining the reason and hardship for the requested variance. The board will not consider financial hardships. Board members may ask questions to clarify the facts. When the board is satisfied with the material presented, the chairperson will then ask if there is anyone in favor or opposition to the request. To do so, click the hand next to your name. If any comments were submitted, staff will read them into the record. Before a call for the vote, the petitioner may request a continuance in order to bring in additional documentation. The board may also request a continuance to gather additional information or for a visit to the site. Once comments have been heard, the chairperson will call for a vote. At that time, the discussion is ended. No further discussion is permitted. The board will generally make a decision today. If a variance is approved, the petitioner has 6 months to obtain the necessary permits or establish the use requested, or the variance will expire. The petitioner or any interested party has a right of appeal to the St. Louis County Circuit Court. Paperwork indicating the board's decision will be mailed to the petitioners.
Alrighty. So in regards to 90-23 Alma Pacific, we do not have a representative for this petition at this time yet. Would the board like to hear the public hearing? This is multiple times that this individual has not had a representative show up for a meeting. You have the option to, if you would like, I can read it into public record and you guys can ask for it to be withdrawn. Or we can move it to the end of your slides, and then if they still are not here and still have a no-show, then we would recommend withdrawing it.
Let's move it to the end.
Okay, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we are going to start then with 01-24 Berkshire Hathaway Home Service Alliance Credit Union. This is a request for an exception to the sign regulations for the purpose of installing new business signage at 1584 Smizer Station Road, maintaining a sign size of 44 square feet in lieu of 24.2 square feet, as required by the C8 Plan Commercial District Regulations and Section 1003.168 Sign Regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance and C8 Ordinance 22,378. Steve, I'm going to request for you to unmute, and you'll be able to present to the board. Just please state your first and last name before you start your presentation.
Afternoon, everybody. My name is Steve Behrens. I'm with Warren Sign Company. So Berkshire Hathaway has, can you jump to the next slide where it shows the sign? So Berkshire Hathaway has these brand guidelines that mandate that all the words you see on our sign are present. So it has to say Berkshire Hathaway Home Services has to have the rule line in the middle. And then in this case, it's Alliance Real Estate on the right-hand side. if we were to make this sign under the square footage limit, some of the letters would be too small to manufacture with internal illumination. In addition to that, the sign is on Highway 141 where traffic is going, 50 plus miles an hour. So we have it here shown at a size that will be legible. So we're hoping for an exception to the rule today to keep it at this size that will work.
Okay, the picture that was on the brick building, is that a former picture?
This is actually a relocation of a sign that's currently on the Deerbergs Plaza in Fenton.
Mhm.
They originally thought this was Fenton as well, but it turned out to be St. Louis County unincorporated.
Mhm. Okay,
But the sign is the appropriate size for the storefront, so we're hoping to be able to use it again.
okay.
And I just wanted to clarify that as well. You said the intent is to relocate the existing sign to the new location is the proposed plan, not to manufacture a new sign at the same size, right?
That's right.
So is that I'm just clarifying that's a portion of your hardship as well as the guidelines of the agreement with Berkshire Hathaway's policies?
I didn't present it as a hardship because I know you don't consider monetary hardships or having to rebuild the sign, but it does factor into why we're here today.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. Are there any other questions?
I have no other questions.
Okay,
I'm good.
okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
I don't see any hands, so at this time I'm going to mute the petitioner's representative so the board can take a vote. This is 0124.
And
Okay.
staff,
Go
I just one question of staff. So where the arrow is pointing, that's where the sign's going to be located on the Highway 141.
Give or take, yeah, within reason. This is the image that the petitioner's representative provided to staff. So yes, that is, give or take within that area, but it's going to be along this
It's
area.
along that frontage of.
Yeah, next to the orthodontics
Okay.
sign that's out there on that building already.
All right. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we're ready to vote. So in the matter of 0124, I vote to approve the variance as advertised, and the hardship just being the need for the sign to be of a particular size in order to be legible and also readable from the highway.
Yeah. I'll second that motion.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, none opposed, it passes.
2-24, Jason Shelty, is a request for an exception to the floodplain regulations for the purpose of constructing a deck at 112 Martigny Drive, maintaining a floodplain setback of 0 feet in lieu of 25 feet as required by the FPR 4 Floodplain Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Jason, I'm going to request for you to unmute. Again, please just state your first and last name for the record before you start your presentation.
Jason Schlechte, homeowner at 112 Martigny Drive.
All right, go ahead.
Basically, the deck has been built already. The hardship would be that the entire house is in a floodplain, and I have no way of getting from the garage exit to the backyard without at least stairs or something. There was a small deck there previously when we moved in, as you can kind of see on that drawing. It was completely rotten when I finally replaced it. Truthfully, I did expand the footprint a bit, but not very much. And basically, I took it down because my kids and the dog were starting to go literally, through the wood on the stairs, and some of the boards and the joists were rotten on the existing deck.
Are there any questions? Go ahead, Vince.
So just so I'm clarifying, I see in one of the photos that there's an existing concrete pad. Did you say that it is following the extent of that concrete pad that was existing, or was that poured as well as the deck?
No, the concrete pad was existing, all of it.
And just to clarify, the deck, because I can't tell from the plan, the deck, does it extend past the concrete pad at all? The existing concrete pad?
Yes, but the stairs go to that concrete pad.
They go to okay.
Yes,
So I'm trying to get an understanding of the ratio from the photos. Thank you for clarifying.
you're welcome.
No
Okay.
further.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
We don't have any hands, so at this time I'm going to mute the petitioner so the board can take a vote. This is 02-24.
In the case of 02-24, I make a motion that we approve variance, noting that the hardship is that the building is, entire site is on a floodplain, noting the need for an egress from the garage.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, the motion passes.
Alrighty, 03-24, Chris Geislinger and Melinda Goldstein. This is a request for an exception to the front yard regulations and regulations that govern the enlargement, extension, construction, reconstruction, or structural alteration of a non-conforming use, land, or structure for the purpose of constructing a deck and stairs at 1202 Telegraph Road, maintaining a front yard of 12 feet in lieu of 15 feet as required by the C2 shopping district in section 1003.170 non-conforming uses, lands, and structures of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. So the board may recall that this site you saw in your December hearing to reestablish the legal non-conforming. Between Debbie and I think staff is going to kind of just represent this to you guys. There is, as you may have recalled from the photos, there are two decks on the house, and then there is an existing porch that was built with the house before 1965, when the zoning ordinance came into play. So in order for the owner to get the occupancy permits, they need to be able to get the permits for the decks to be checked that were already built, I believe, when you saw this and before it even came to the Department of Planning. So we need the setbacks in order to do that, and just for the legal non-conforming status of this building for the alterations of those decks. And Debbie, if you have anything to add that might help them, that would be great.
Okay.
I don't think she has anything to add, so
No.
I must have done it okay.
Yeah.
But if you have questions on anything, let us know.
Okay.
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Okay. Well, I believe we're ready to vote on that. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
We don't have any hands.
Okay.
In the matter of 3-24, I make a motion to recommend the variance as advertised due to the existing nature of the decks.
Justin, just a clarification. I believe this is 9623.
No, this is 03-24.
It says, okay, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was that number previously. I might have
Okay.
left that number on just for recollection from
Okay.
that site.
I second. Sorry.
Okay. No worries. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, the motion passes.
04-24, James Meyer is a request for an exception to the rear yard regulations for the purpose of installing an above-ground swimming pool and pump at 10140 Morgan Ridge Drive, maintaining a rear yard of 8 feet for the pool and a rear yard of 5 feet for the pump in lieu of 15 feet as required by the R4 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance and PEU Ordinance 14,705. Jim, I'm going to request for you to unmute like we did earlier, and then just state your name for the record and present your case.
I'm James Meyer, homeowner at 10140 Morgan Ridge. Requesting this variance because it's kind of a narrow yard, first off, and we didn't want the pool right up against the house. We wanted away from the house for a little bit. I think that's just was kind of common to me. It also has an easement going through, and we didn't want the pool setting directly on the easement, so we wanted it to go towards the rear a little more, not realizing how close it would be to the back. I was also told to talk about there's no wires or anything that go over the top, since we're a subdivision that has all the electric and everything that comes in through the front of the subdivision, so there's no electrical wires or anything that go over the top of the pool through the back of my yard.
Is the intent to have this in the same location, or are we looking to push? And then the second question is there a future proposed plan to build any type of decking or railing around it?
It will not be moved. It's where it would be, where the pool is going to stay. And at this point, there is no proposed decking. I mean, that could be down in the future, but at this point, no.
No further questions for me.
Staff, can you put that site plan back up? I just want to make sure I'm seeing that easement runs kind of across the backyard there, not on the lot line, but through the,
Correct.
is that the easement that I'm seeing?
Yes, the two lines kind of back towards the house and over partially, the pool covering partially.
Okay.
We thought it was a better idea not to sit directly on the east.
Got it.
Mhm.
And do they have to do anything to clear that easement or get?
We're currently working on that. We're getting the easement releases from all of the major utilities.
Okay.
Good.
Looks like phone and data from the photo, Justin.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. Are there any other questions? No. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
I don't see any hands, so at this time I'm going to mute the petitioner so the board can take a vote. This is 04-24.
Okay. 0424, I vote to approve the variance as advertised, and the hardship just being the number of easements that are on the lot, and also trying to place it away from the home.
Second, with the caveat of clarifying that this is for the pool and pump only and not for any additional decking.
Very good. Okay. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Okay, the motion passes.
05-24, Carolyn Obermeski is a request for an exception to the front yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a generator at 4705 Town Center Drive, maintaining a front yard of 12 feet in lieu of 20 feet along Ames Road, as required by the R3 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Ben, I'm going to request for you to unmute, and then just again, please state your first and last name, and feel free to present to the board.
Thank you. My name is Ben Odom, and I am representing Carolyn Obremski. We're putting a generator at her house, an emergency backup generator. Her house is, as you can see in this image here, Town Center Drive. It turns off of Ames Road. So the generator in question, we would like to put it on the side where the gas meter and the air conditioner. We're about 12 feet to the property line and about 17 feet, as you can see, to the sidewalk and 21 feet to the street. So there's an air conditioning unit on that side of the house. There's also the gas meters on that side of the house. The addition that you kind of see that's, along Ames Road, that is the actual master suite. So we're, keeping it away from the bedroom and as close as we can to the utilities that are existing. So that's where we set it. And so, yeah, you can see we kept it in the same profile as the air conditioner, not to exceed that. And so that's.
Mhm.
Just one question, just to clarify, the grounding for the generator, is it within the footprint or is it beyond the generator itself or planned for it?
The grounding of the generator, the generator actually makes the power. So it's grounded. And so it actually carries a ground that it generates back to the transfer switch. So it makes it has its own ground. Yes. Within,
So there's no
within the
grounding
system.
rod outside there. Okay, perfect. I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Questions?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
I don't see any hands, so at this time I'm going to mute the petitioner's representative so the board can take a vote. This is 05-24.
In the case of 05-24, I make a motion to approve the variance for a generator to extend beyond the required setbacks.
I'll second that.
Okay, I concur. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the motion passes.
All right, I'm gonna move us back up to 90-23 real quick. There is still no representative for this petition, so I still do have to read this in the legal in for you guys in order for you to take a vote on withdrawal if that's what the board intends to do. So for purposes of that, 90-23 Alma Hudzik is a request for an exception to the side yard regulations for the purpose of repairing an existing deck at 4642 Cybert Avenue, maintaining a side yard of 3 feet in lieu of 5 feet as required by the R5 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance.
Okay.
I just have a question of staff. Was the deck repaired and now they're coming back to us to deal with this, or are they looking to do it?
Debbie, you might be able to speak to that more.
It looks to me like they've already completed it and they got caught. So they had to come back and get get permits, and they have to prove to the inspectors that and the building plan reviewer that it's built to code. So they really can't get a building permit yet until they do that and it's inspected. So they're just now following up on how they need to go about doing things. And they won't seem to contact me back on getting the variance.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I don't mind withdrawing it, but if it's done and we can see like, potential hardship or whatever, I don't mind having that discussion. But if they're not being cooperative and it's not if they've got to come back to us and we can just take care of the business while we're all here doing it, then we should think about that. But if they're got other processes that they got to deal with before they can even move on,
Yeah, so to kind of clarify too, like they have to have those variants before they would even, get the permits to even start that work at this point. That's what's holding them up is they need to be here first and then they'll send inspectors out. If the board does choose to withdraw, I think staff will probably reach back out to the Department of Public Works and let them know. So that way they can proceed with how they need to on their end to issue fines or whatever they need to do on their end.
Mhm. But if we agree to give them the variance, then that would kick them to the next step, right?
Yes, and it is up to the board. If you guys would like to see the slides for this in total, and I guess Debbie and Jonathan, if you have other experience with this, I mean, I guess in a world there is a way in which technically, I guess we don't need the representative here. It's just it may not swing their way, I guess, if you guys have questions and they can't be answered.
So point of clarification for Debbie is, because we do have the option to potentially continue in this again. Has it been that they have not made contact, or have they not been responsive?
They have not made contact. I've contacted them by phone and email and have had no response. In fact, I think Alma is actually a real estate agent.
Okay.
She's not actually she may be the homeowner, but the voicemail and everything's going to a real estate office.
So you've been able to make contact. That's why I wanted to clarify. You've been able to make contact. It's not that we just haven't heard back from them.
Right.
Okay.
Well, if you'd like to explain the slides, maybe
Sure, we can go through them, and then if the board can kind of make their decision on what they would like to do.
Okay.
So this is just that aerial kind of along Cybert Avenue. It's outlined in red for you. Here's their site plan that they are proposing. And we'll pull up the larger one because that's just easier to see. But they are wanting that, the main ordeal is the side yard. They want a side yard of 3 in lieu of 5. So the deck, as you kind of saw from that picture earlier, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. Let's see if I can annotate this. The deck is kind of here. So that
Mhm.
3 foot is right there along that side for us.
Is that where what's, there's a number called out, I can't read it,
It
of the
says
house.
3.2 to the
To property line.
property line. Yeah.
What's the house setback at?
It's
I have
probably
to look.
close to that.
It looks like it maybe is like built in line with the house if I had to be a betting person, honestly. Sorry, guys.
Mhm.
I can't
Not
quite
see my
read that. It almost looks like 4 foot, but
Yeah, give me one
there's like
second
one
here.
little, there's a mark right at the house, kind of, I guess, on the bottom of the screen of the house. It gives you a dimension.
Okay. Let's see here.
Zoom in. I can't zoom in.
I wish. Let's see if I escape out of this, if it will let me do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
here, I've got it.
I think if you hit the plus sign, it zooms in. Like mine zooms in.
Yeah, I got mine to zoom in also.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
it-
okay. Maybe this will do it.
It says like 4.0 or something, but
Yeah, I think yeah, 4.0. Okay.
Mhm.
So it would extend over the distance of the house.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, then this is what would be, this is the deck that they prepared, it looks like. And yeah, as you can kind of see, it does where that little bit of the house is, it does look like it maybe extends past where that gutter is.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah, it maybe,
I don't know. That looks.
Yeah,
I
right
don't know,
there.
it looks like it's in line with it, but
Mhm.
maybe it was just off on their drawing because of how it was,
Yeah.
because they probably just hand wrote.
And there's no need for the variance for the house. Is that correct?
No, we're
That
only
was an
looking at the
existing
deck, yeah.
house.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they've done major repairs and upgrades on the house, and
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
it's a very nice looking deck, but
It is.
they
It's
just didn't go along with the process.
paperwork. Okay. Well, do you all think we
I-
could vote on this?
It's up to you guys. I think you could make an argument, it's in line with the existing house. If it helps move the project forward for them, I mean, just because they're not here, you get it. I mean,
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think we can vote. Vince, do you feel comfortable voting on this?
I'm comfortable voting on it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is 90-23.
all right. In the matter of 90-23, I'll make a motion to recommend approval of the requested variance to allow the deck to remain in line with the existing house, whether that be, in line with the existing house.
Okay. I second it. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
All right.
Justin?
No, I said aye to the.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, it carries. It carries.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. They made it. Okay.
That would have been first for the recommendation.
Yes.
All right. Good deal.
All right,
guys.
that's all we have for you guys today. So
Happy New Year's to everybody.
Happy
Well,
New
we
Year,
moved
Yeah.
to adjourn. I believe we have to do that, right?
yes, we
Yeah.
need to adjourn.
Yeah.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Okay, it carries. Thank you all.
All right, we will
guys.
see you
Happy New Year.
guys
Have a good
at the
one.
next one. All right, bye.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.